Hey guys, how you doing? My name is Lena. Welcome back to another video. This is so weird. This feels super weird doing this again. I know it's been a while, like 2 months or so, but before I do like an update on the channel, I really want to do like the end of the year series that everybody does this time of the year. So for me, it's going to be 3 videos. I'm going to be doing the most surprising books of 2022, the worst / more disappointing, and the best books, which is going to be the last one that I upload. But today we're going to start with the surprising ones. I do have to say that it's been kind of a meh year. I've been like more surprised by books that I like really didn't have like that much hype around, but then with my anticipated releases, it was a fucking mess. So today we're going to talk about those books that really surprised me. Like I went into them with like really low expectations or like non expectations at all. So yeah, let's do this. I may be a little bit rusty, okay? It's been such a long time. So these are in no particular order, like I just have a bunch of them, but I just really want to talk about them. So the first one that I have here is Raybearer, which I read, I think around March, maybe? And I still think about it like such a good book. Like it surprised me a lot, even though I knew that it was going to be good based on some reviews that I've seen, but this was actually super cool. Like, I don't know, it was something about like the magic system that just really intrigued me. Also the plot is definitely YA, but I don't know, it had something. It had this thing where all the like kind of let's call them royals, like the circle of royals that surrounded the king are literally connected to him. It's just so bizarre, like it kind of gives him power, like all these different powers. It's just such a cool concept. I just really like it overall. I didn't find the main character annoying at all. I don't know, this book worked so well for me, but I still haven't read the sequel because I've heard it's trash. I don't think I will, because I'm actually quite happy with where this ended. So I'm just going to keep this copy and just be happy about it, because it surprised me so much that I just really don't want to taint that feeling. So I'm sticking with this. I really liked it. Highly % recommended. Like it was so good. Then another kind of favorite from this year, honestly, An Altar on the Village Green. I don't think like I loved it enough for it to be on the like best of my year, like reading wise, but still this was so good. I still think about it from time to time. Like I really want to read like the second book whenever it comes out, but the only thing that kind of annoyed me a little bit were the flashbacks. Well, can we call them let's call them flashbacks, but they felt like heavier and heavier the more I got into the book. Like I really wanted to be in the main story instead of them towards the end. So that's probably the reason that I'm just feel like 100% connected to this book, but still really liked it. This is inspired by Dark Souls. It's dark fantasy, it's super gory, it's pretty horror fantasy also, but mostly dark fantasy. But man, it was great. You're going to follow this guy and he's literally sent to this village to take down the evil, and he gets stuck in this loop, and every time he dies he comes back and he has like to do everything again until he finds like this horror that's attacking this village. So good. I'm really excited about the 11th is it Circle in February. Oh my god, I literally cycle not circle, the 11th cycle, because I feel like it has a similar vibe to this one. That's my feeling, because it's also like Dark Souls inspired, so I hope so. But yeah, this one I highly recommend if you like that mechanic of dying, coming back alive. Fantastic book. Then probably one of the best like endings to a trilogy that I've read, but this is An End to Sorrow, which is the final book in the Obsidian path by Michael R. Fletcher. I just really like this. Really like this. I read it as an ARC actually, and I was so happy. I still need to get a physical copy. I'm just such a mess at buying books that I have already read. I don't know what it is, but I'm trying to be better at that. Like literally this month I only bought like books that I've already read, but they were on my wish list and I still haven't bought them. Yeah, but I don't know, this ending just felt great in general. It's, as I told you, one of the best like endings of a series that I've read. It's just everything comes to place so nicely. It's just so well done. I do have to say that I still feel like the first book is my favorite one of the trilogy, because I don't know, it has like something. This is also dark fantasy. I really liked it. If you're looking for like good solid dark fantasy, you should definitely check out Michael R. Fletcher. He's just so cool, man. Like, so cool. He has like this ability to write like dark fantasy like no other. I just like him a lot. He's one of my favorite I almost said characters, authors out there. But yeah, 100% would recommend this series. It's about a man trying to find different pieces of his heart so he can regain his memories. It's just fucking great. Like, the ending is great. I really like the plot in this one. Like, I felt like the second one was like very empty plot wise, but this one, amazing. Then this is very weird, but this is Winter World. And I read this as part of a video where people were recommending me books to read on my TBR. And I had on this for a while and I thought nothing of it. Like, I literally thought that it was about like a glacial era. I don't fucking know. But I definitely wasn't expecting the twist that this book has, like, pretty early on. It was fucking amazing. I was like, is it technically a spoiler? Well, I've already talked about that before, but this book has aliens, actually. I had no idea. I had no fucking idea. And you know what? Just for that alone, I think more people are going to grab this. But this was super surprising. I really want to pick like the next books in this. I still haven't done it, but I definitely should. It was super solid, but yeah, just for that surprise alone, it's worth the read. Like, just do it. Then another one that I really liked, but not enough yet. Not enough yet. But this is Of Blood and Fire by Ryan Kyle. I really hope that I'm pronouncing like the last name correctly. But this feels like a classic fantasy. Honestly, just I listened to it. I didn't read it physically, but it was the feeling that it gave me. Like, it felt like an classic fantasy adventure. I don't know what it is about it. I really liked it. It has dragons, which is always fucking great. It reminded me a lot of Eragon while I was reading it. For some reason, it has like a bit of like Eragon, but mixed a little bit with The Wheel of Time, because like the group of friends. But overall, I think it's fantastic. I really want to get a physical copy of this one and also the next one, because book 3 I think is coming out January? Is in January, well, definitely next year. And I just really want to catch up with this series. Like, I really liked it. I already knew that it was going to be good, but still, I found myself like very intrigued and just like wanted to be alone for a bit, just so I could keep listening to it. It was great. So if you're thinking about reading this one, 100% do it. It was fantastic. Then definitely this one was for sure a surprise. Like, you know, I'm not a huge fan of historical fiction. Honestly, I just don't like historical fiction. Like, it's just not for me. Like, I can watch a show that is historical fiction, but just a book, it bores the hell out of me. I just can't. So I was so surprised when I actually liked this one. Definitely has fantasy elements, but still, definitely historical fiction. A Declaration of the Rights of Magicians by H.J. Perry. This is set on the Revolution era, and you follow a bunch of well-known characters, Robespierre for example, and it was fantastic. It also touches on the theme of slavery, which I had no clue, but there's so much going on in here. Like, so much. You have so many perspectives. Oh my god, I have forgotten how to speak in English. I loved it. I actually loved it. I bought the sequel immediately. I still haven't read it because the audiobook is not available in my region, which is so fucking annoying. So fucking annoying. And I actually really liked the audiobook for the first one. I thought it was a really good way to just read it. So I'm a little bit annoyed. I tried to read it physically last month, but I really didn't have the time to just sit down and read, which is something that I still don't really have much time of, but I'm trying to get better at it. Check this one out. It's just so good, and I feel like it's super underrated. Like, I barely heard anyone talk about this one. And it's just so cool, man. Like, so cool. Like, everything is great about it. I was going to say the magic system, but the magic system is not really like that deep, but it just fits so well with the world. I don't know, it's great. Then this one, I didn't have like high hopes for it. or anything, but this is Soulkeeper. I heard like good things before, but I don't know why, but the beginning surprised me so much. Like, I read half of this book in a sitting because I was so intrigued. I do have to say that my enjoyment was a little bit, not tainted, but I enjoyed it less. The last part, I don't know why, I have no clue why. But the part where they arrived to the city, it was just like, not downhill, but I just didn't enjoy it as much as the beginning. The beginning for sure gave me Witcher vibes. Like, I feel like this book was what I wanted the Witcher books to be, because honestly, I cannot stand the Witcher books anymore. Like, the more I think about them, the least I like them. I definitely need to hold them. And now that I've been playing the video game again, I just despise them more. So I'm going to stick with this series. It's just what I wanted for sure. Like, it's so cool. But you're basically going to follow like two siblings here. The brother is the one that gets like caught in the middle of this kind of town that turned into monsters. There's kind of zombies also in here. The sister is in the city that I told you before, and her arc is interesting, but I didn't find as interesting. Like, I feel like the opposite happened. Like, the brother became less interesting and the sister became more interesting towards the ending of the book. Weird. But I'm going to be reading the second book this month. Like, I'm pretty invested on this. I just really want like a cool like sequel to read. So yeah, but this one was great. Then another surprise, like, does it really come as a surprise? Because I had heard like so many people talk great things about this series. But this is Ninth Reign. I think this what surprised me the most is like the main race here, because for me they are literally fucking vampires. That was in my mind. You cannot change it. I'm sorry. But I just really liked it. This is so bizarre, honestly. I feel like I actually need to reread this before I jump into the second book, which is so weird since I read it like, I don't know, 2 months ago? I think, yeah. I was already working and I listened to it, yeah. 2 months ago. And I feel like I should read it again before reading book 2. Literally, the only word that I can describe this book is bizarre. Like, I have no idea if I actually talk about this book in my channel yet. But if I haven't, it was so weird, man. Like, so weird. Definitely would recommend it. You're looking for like really weird like fantasy. I really, really liked it. It was probably one of the best books that I read this year. Not enough to be like one of my favorite books, but still, it has potential to become one of my favorite series for sure. I'm going to give The Rave an honorable mention because this is probably one of the few sci fantasies that I actually like. Not that I can just like stand, no, that I actually liked. I actually find myself really enjoying this book. I think it was one of probably the most enjoyable books that I read this year. It felt fast-paced. The mix between fantasy and sci-fi didn't feel forced at all, and it was super cool. The concept of the floating city, I just love it so much. I really want to read book 2, which I already owned, but I don't know. So many concepts here, and as I told you like a million times before, I'm very weird with sci fantasy. Like, it has to have like proper elements for me to like it, and I actually really did enjoy this one. So definitely an honorable mention. Definitely check it out. This year I barely read any non-fiction, but one that I loved was Por si las voces vuelven, which is actually a memoir, and oh man, this was tough, but also like really funny, because this guy, he's actually a comedian here, and a couple of years ago he kind of vanished from the public eye. He turned out to have like a schizophrenic episode, and he is kind of narrating that and how it felt, and it's such a heartfelt book in general. It's just amazing. I highly recommend it. I've heard nothing but incredible things from everyone who has read it. It's just very emotional, but yeah, I want to give it like a quick mention. Then second to last is going to be Daughter of the Moon Goddess, which is probably one of the few YA fantasies that I've enjoyed in a long time. And it also has like a love triangle, which I actually really enjoyed and thought it was really well thought out. I just really liked it. I still had to read the second part of this duology, The Heart of the Sun Warrior, I think it's called. But I listened to it. I really, really liked it. I really, really enjoyed it. As I've told you, the love triangle was actually really cool. I don't know, I really enjoyed it. It's basically about this girl who's been living with her mother, the moon goddess, basically, in hiding, and one day she's discovered and she has to flee and she has to cross like these celestial kingdoms. The ambience, the world building, I feel it's great in this one. It's not like there's like huge amounts of world building, but it's just a very interesting world in general. So I would highly recommend you check it out, honestly. Like, it's just super cool. I think I'm going to talk about two more, but I'm going to quickly mention the Stardust Thief. I haven't talked about this book yet, but I read it this month and I really liked it. And I'm so surprised because I actually hate Jinn as a thing in fantasy. I don't know fucking why. I don't know why, but I just cannot stand Jinn. It's the same thing with Fae. I just cannot. I just don't like them. It's one of the reasons why I just don't like City of Brass. I don't like Jinns. I don't know why. I swear to you, I don't know why, but this one was great. I think because in here they were portrayed like really evil. Not like in the other ones, maybe besides one character that is just like, yeah, I'm kind of nice. But he's also dangerous as fuck, you know, like everyone's just like, maybe. So I don't know, maybe because of that, but I just really liked it. I will talk about this one more when I do like a wrap up of all the books that I've been reading this past 2 months, because I read a shit ton of them. But yeah. Okay, you know what, like a quick mention. Thank God It's Friday is a collection of short stories, like 4 short stories that I actually loved. Don't ask me why, I have no clue, because I just don't usually like short stories. I love this collection so much. So much. It's a collection of SFF short stories, and some of them are connected. We have like a few that are about dragons, and the first one is about a train station that traps people and you cannot leave. I just really liked it in general, so I really want to recommend it to you. That's it. So yeah, that's it for my like surprising books of this year. Quite a few of them, but as I've told you, this is the longest one that I have. I haven't like really read that many bad books either, but it's just been like a very average reading year. It's weird. Like, I feel like I barely had like something like I'm just like, oh my god, I love it this year. So yeah, but I will see you in the next video of this series. So as always, I will see you in the next one. Bye.